back here at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. Trevor Hall with the Yukon Mining Alliance. We continue to make our way throughout the Yukon right now. Happy to check in with White Gold Corp and the CEO, Mr. David D'Onofrio. White Gold trades on the TSX Venture with the symbol WGO. David, welcome back. It's good to see you in person again.
Great to be here. Great to see a lot of people in person again. This is fantastic to see such a good turnout at this show. I'm really pleased by that.
I got to give props to the Yukon Mining Alliance and all the members here, companies such as yours, because you roll in pretty heavy. And you can't escape it because the front door's right there.
That's right. They do a good job. We're fortunate to have them kind of in our corner. They advocate, they get us set up at these conferences, they bring in a lot of eyeballs, not just in Canada, internationally. So they've done a great job, and actually one of the directors with them, and I'm really pleased with what they've done so far.
Let's kind of like jump into business here and talk about White Gold and really, obviously ongoing development, so there's a lot of work that has been done, a lot of work continuing to be done. Let's take a step into this year and really what the plan is.
Yeah, White Gold, it's actually a really unique and special exploration company in my view. Obviously I'm the CEO of the company. I'm also a principal at Power One Capital. We're a merchant bank based in Toronto. We've been investing in resource exploration companies for over 20 years now, right? And we've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. And over the years, you learn, what makes a successful exploration company a success, right? You can only control so much, but in this business of high risk, you're well suited to do as much as you can to address those risks where possible. And White Gold, what made it so appealing to us to partner with Sean Ryan, is that it checked the boxes of having so many prospective opportunities to mitigate the natural risks that will come with these types of opportunities, that we were sort of fully, over the moon to be able to partner in such an opportunity. And that's how I ended up in the CEO position, right? Very often we'll partner with these guys, but it was just such a unique opportunity, and I'll get into why that, we really sort of put our brand behind this and put our shoulder behind this for the last 5 years, and it's now really culminating to what we thought it would be, and I think the most exciting times are just lying right ahead for us, right? And we're gonna see that in this year's program. And just to summarize, why is it so special? Number one, it's in an amazing jurisdiction, right? It's in Canada, it's in the Yukon. I think the Fraser Institute just put out their global rankings. Yukon is top 10 globally, right? That's always been important. I think in this day and age, we're seeing more and more why that's important, number one. Number two, it's just so underexplored, right? Nothing's happened, but a lot of places are underexplored, but when you have a tier 1 jurisdiction that's underexplored, it's a special opportunity. And when you combine that with the prolific history of that district, it just really sort of, it's hard not to get excited about what could be happening. You have 20 million ounces of gold on surface plastered over the last 100 years, right? You have Western copper with 20 million ounces. Hardly zero modern day exploration happened at all up until the last 10 years ago when Sean Ryan, why did nobody go there? And the answer is you couldn't prospect because there's no outcrop. So Sean Ryan, the brilliant and analytical mind he is, he's like, I'm going to crack this code, figure out how to prospect, and he did that. And within a couple years of him first identifying some mineralized systems, the very first diamond drilling that started happening led to immediate hard rock, major multi-million ounce discoveries taken out by major mining companies within a couple years. That's the junior resource company journey. That is within a couple years of work and on a couple of properties. Enter White Gold. We now own everything that Sean's gone up there and staked that's not in the hands of a major, Newmont or Western Copper, and the other piece that was in Kinross now joined us and rolled their properties into us to let us take over, knowing that Sean and his team would be best suited to advance those.
So you're managing that exploration?
We're managing that exploration, and so Kinross is one of our partners, Agnico is one of our partners, and I think that should validate to outsiders, what the true nature of this opportunity is, right? Which is an entire district in a tier 1 jurisdiction with a prolific history and with so much success with so little work done. So it really, really is a special opportunity. And in what we've seen in the last 5 years with the work that we've done, we've actually exceeded our own expectations. And what does that mean in real term? So that we define significant resources. We're about 1.8 million ounces across all categories in our flagship deposits. And even more exciting, and why we all got into this project in the first place, was to make new discoveries. We've made a number of very significant high-grade discoveries in the last couple of years. And this year is going to see us following up those discoveries with diamond drilling. And that's, the best possible situation you can be in as a junior.
David, let me ask you about kind of the long-term strategy here, because I've been following White Gold for 5 years as well. Tremendous exploration success that's been ongoing, right? But how does the company transition from an explored to putting it all together and maybe stepping into that development type of strategy?
That's a great question. Our team, our strength is we're explorationists. We don't want to necessarily develop these projects. So the goal when White Gold was put together was to be a project generator, go out there, make the grassroots discoveries, demonstrate the upside of these opportunities, and then look to monetize those opportunities to other players in the district. Who's that going to be, right? At the time there was Gold Corp, they were racing to put the coffee deposit in production. That obviously got acquired by Newmont. Newmont is still advancing that on a little bit of a different timeline, bigger company, they have different parameters. I think they're very close to what they want. But in an ideal world, where would I want to see White Gold, doing over the next 10 and 20 years is continue to make discoveries and look to monetize them in different capacities. Obviously, Agnico and Kinross are our partners. They're logical suitors. There's a tremendous amount of interest from a lot of different companies, mid-tiers, financial groups, to take these assets and move them to the next level. So, today we don't have that answer, but I'm hoping, we're at that point in time now where we have assets that are ready to go to the next level, right? 1.8 million ounces, open pit, 2+ grams in Canada. There's a very, very short list of assets of that size and tenure. And those, especially in this environment where there's been so little exploration, are few and far between. And I think those are going to be, there's going to be a lot of pressure to move those forward, which we're going to be happy to participate in.
You raised $9 million back in December. How does that set you up, through this year and into 2020?
Yeah, so that fully funds us for this year's program and carries us into the following year, and that's been basically our strategy. And that sort of came together on the backs of a big grassroots discovery we made on our Betty project. We announced 50 meters at 3.5 grams. Basically, Nico called us and said, we want to top up to 19.9%. Let's see what we can put together. And that launched that financing. And then through those discussions, okay, we want to make sure we have enough for next year and some into the following year. And that's what we're just on the cusp of announcing those details in the next week or so. So I think that's going to, if you want to touch on more on those details, that's what we're most excited about today.
And did some of the big partners, Kinross, Agnico, did they come in on that financing?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
That's really important right now. The market's experiencing quite a bit of volatility, and I've always kind of thought companies that have those partnerships with major producers are going to be in a much better position than some people.
It's incredibly helpful, there's no doubt about it, yeah. From a financial perspective, also from a technical perspective. These partners have added a tremendous amount of value, and that's why we chose to get into bed with them in the first place, right? These guys know how to operate, they're experts, especially in Canada or northern, Alaska, Northwest Territories, etc. So they've got the skill set, they've got the resources, and they've been a tremendous help for us, for sure.
Are you drilling year round or no?
Not year round. So, I think, frankly, that's a challenge for junior companies in a seasonal type environment. It gets quiet over the winter. Our season's usually the end of May to sort of sometime in October. It's often reflected in our share prices, which is kind of what you see right now. It's sort of dipping in, but things should be getting real exciting again once the drills start turning in a couple of weeks.
With drills turning, obviously, we'll be awaiting assay results. That's been a huge pain in the butt lately, or the last couple of years, but does that seem to be alleviating at all?
We think it should be better this year for sure, right? Time will tell, but based on, these are conversations we've had through the year. We don't want to be surprised, especially when you're seasonal. You can't be waiting a long time for your assays. So we're hopeful that this year will be much closer to what historic norms have been.
Last word I'll give to you, what do you want investors and resource speculators to be watching for White Gold this summer?
So we have what I think is going to be very exciting diamond drill program. We had our Betty discovery last year, which I mentioned, 50 meters, 3.5 grams. That was a maiden program. That asset sits right contiguous to Newmont's Coffee deposit, multi-million ounce discovery, right on the same fault system. You know, it's contiguous to Casino's, you know, Western Copper's Monster project. So you're in elephant country. We tapped into a major system there. Holes of that tenure are, you know, there's a high probability we're going to find a lot more. So we're going to be doing a lot of diamond drilling on that target. 5 kilometers to the east of that, there's another target of very similar tenure based on the soil sampling that we've done in the past and some historic drilling. We're going to be executing a maiden diamond drill program there as well. So this is like why you invest in junior mining companies. You know, you've spent the work, you've checked all the boxes, and now you got the truth machine that's going in the ground. And when you're right, you know, you're rewarded big time. So that's half our program. The other half of our program I think is going to be equally as exciting. We made a new discovery a couple of years ago, 2 kilometers to the west of our flagship deposit called our Orion Surprise. We've been drilling that. We've defined a huge mineralized footprint of 400 meters by 400 meters by 400 meters. We're going to do some more work around that. Just to the south of that last year, we had a new discovery, 20 meters of 7 grams per ton on our Yuli's target. We think these might connect, so we're going to drill more on that Yuli's target. We're going to drill more in between. You know, so the opportunity for that deposit to get much bigger, you know, was always the case. But you know, we think the prospectivity is just getting better and better and better the more work we've done. And those targets there sit on a 6.5 kilometer trend that's seen almost no work. And based on the soil anomalies that we've seen where we made the discovery, we think there's going to be a couple more of those at least on this big trend. So we're doing a lot of work there too. So some, you know, very exciting discovery follow-up happening.
Important news items coming out later this
Drill
week.
start turning in a couple of weeks here. So this is if you're not involved when you want to get involved.
David, thanks so much. Good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise.
All right. That's your White Gold update here from the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. Again, White Gold trading on the TSX Venture with WGO.